Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Coach's Corner West. I'm at the Pizza Hut in Galleon. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Glad to have you aboard on this 31st of January, the last day before we move into the month of February, which reports say it could be ominous, but we will certainly find out. Our show is brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth and Brad Seibert at the Plymouth Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Galleon, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus, Upper Sandusky, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. Coming up a little later, the Buckeye Central portion of the show, it will be the Northern 10 undefeated girls basketball team from Buckeye Central and Diane Kaple here to talk about their season as it starts to wind down. They had their tournament draw yesterday. We will talk about that. Prior to that, it'll be the Winford Royals. It'll be assistant coach Nate Smith and Carson Kimmel and some of their players here to talk about how the Royals are faring. Got a nice win at Bucyrus on Saturday. And to roll things off tonight, it's the bowling team from Bucyrus, and it's Coach Diane Kaple and Joe Powers are here, and we'll talk to them and some of their bowlers in just a moment. Show's brought to you in part by Vince Ponziani and Associates at Wakecraft Industries, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut here in Bucyrus and Galleon, host of our show since 1992, as well as the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette, New Winchester Road. And pleased to welcome to the microphone Diane Kaple and assistant coach Joe Powers. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And your season is quickly winding down as well, isn't it?
It is.
It always seems like such a long season. You know, you look at football and it's 10 weeks regular season, basketball's 22, and when I look at these bowling schedules, it just, the page goes on and on and on and on. And that's such a great thing.
Yeah.
Normally in a given week, how many matches do you have?
During the month of December and January, there are our two busiest months, and we average anywhere from 2 to 3 matches and occasional, well, this year we had, what, 4
tournaments?
Yeah, 4 weekend tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's a packed schedule.
But the kids probably like that because that's better than practice. You know, when you get in a game competition and that, they probably like that a whole heck of a lot more. Well, that's fantastic. You know, we talked a little bit off air. The boys are doing extremely well, 11-3 at this point. Girls getting better at 5-9. And when I looked at your recent matches back on Saturday the 22nd, it was the Crawford County tournament out at Suburban Lanes, and I was reading up on that a little bit. It looked like a number, of course, all the county schools there. Just talk about how fun that kind of an atmosphere is with a whole bunch of kids that your kids probably know, and you know the coaches because they're all within the county.
Yeah, the county tournament actually started, it's a 40-some plus, 40, like about 45, at least 45 years old. Mm-hmm. And it was started as clubs. And we have continued to carry it on, even though some of the schools are varsity, some are still clubs. We had to change it over the past 3 years.
Change the format.
The format due to, so it was within the criteria of the varsity
I see.
matches. So, but it's a bragging rights for the kids. It's a lot of fun, good healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
The kids really enjoy getting together and playing against their locals.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, interestingly enough, on the boys' side at Bucyrus, after 3 regular games and 4 Baker games, you held an advantage of 3,501 pins to 3,485. 16 pins over your rival from just west of here at Winford. But in the 2 Baker game roll-off for the championship, the Royals had a combined 457 to 359 against your team, and they won the title. But still, a great showing. Gabe Higginbotham, 634, good for second place.
Yep.
Tyson McDaniels, 576, good for 6th. Lucas Hill, 539, good for 8th. Braxton Lewis, 508, good for 12th place. Seth Price, 319, good for 24th. And Hayden Rittenberry rolled a 179 for 26th. How proud were both of you of the way your boys came out and were determined, even though they didn't win it?
Well, going into after the first 3 games, Bucyrus was actually down to Winford. Winford was ahead. And after we did the Baker games, Bucyrus come back and overtook Winford, but unfortunately during the 2 Baker games at the end, after we dropped total pinfall. I mean, they were just a better team. The Baker game said.
Yeah, do you think it was just a situation where maybe they got a little nervous or hesitant, or did you see that they were still aggressive with the way they rolled the ball?
Oh, they were aggressive. They wanted to win. And,
Sure.
and it showed. So.
Yeah. The girls' side, Madison McDaniel rolled a 421, good for sixth. Rylee Powers, 414 for seventh place. Katie Kuhn, 394, good for, I put 394th place, but that can't be. Marissa Hewlett, 379. Kaylee Horsley, right? 223, good for 19th place. So nice showing for them as well. Were you pleased with them, even though, Gallion, we know that they're really, really strong. I get to interview them, and they're something special.
Yeah, they have a powerhouse, and their program, they really have some bowlers that have been in it a long time. We've got some young. Katie Kuhn's a senior, and this is her first year bowling. Mm-hmm. So, but no, I was really proud of them. The girls did a really good job. We had some that would set some personal bests that day. So they did a good job. They finished third, and was proud of what they did.
Good. Then last Tuesday, the 25th, you swept Mansfield Senior. You were over at Lex Lanes, and boys won 24-10 to 23-11. Tyson McDaniel again topped Bucyrus with a 408 series and a 224 single game. And the girls won 1689 to 15-16. The girls won 2 regular games, 13-22, 11-61, and 3 Baker games, 367 to 355. And Madison McDaniel led the Lady Redmen with a 334 series and a 177 single game. Is that starting? Are you starting now to see, as we're getting late in the season, some personal best from your student athletes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah, you can see they're peaking at the right time.
Good.
The girls, I mean, we see it in the girls, we see it in the boys. It's straight across, and you should be seeing that growth by now.
Yeah.
And the kids are doing. The boys have maintained what they're. We've got some great averages this year that you've seen the growth, some 20 to 30 pins. Rylee, last year this year she's up 20 pins up average wise compared from last year. So she's come a long way. And Madison actually is peaking at the right time. She came into this beginning of the season having surgery on her foot over the summer. So it took her a while to build up, and she's now peaking just in time for sectionals. So she's working. So the kids are working hard, and they enjoy bowling against Mansfield Senior. They're always a fun group, good sportsmanship. So.
Good.
So yeah, we're very proud of our teams this year.
And your JVs defeated Mansfield Senior 14-45 to 11-35. Cody Pennington 354 series and a 210 single game for the Redmen. So it's nice that you can have some JV kids as well. JV just on the boys' side, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the girls, they didn't have enough girls. But yeah, our JV team, the boys are 9-1 for their record, and the girls are 5-1.
Perfect.
So we got some depth coming in going into next year. So it's promising.
The future is bright.
Yes.
We're going to take a moment here before we talk to the young people around the table. We're brought to you in part by Blythe Friedley and Todd McDougall at Friedley and Company Insurance, New Washington, Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop, New Washington, and the Ohio State University at Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. First up, it's sophomore Tyson McDaniel. Hi, Tyson. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Well, you should be. With some of these numbers are pretty eye-popping for a young man, just a sophomore. How many years have you been bowling competitively, let's say?
This is my first year.
First year, okay. So have you bowled out at Suburban in like leagues or youth leagues or things like that before?
Yeah, when I was younger, I did the Suburban League, like the weekend leagues, but that's about it.
So your first year in competition, so you didn't do it last year, right, as a freshman?
That's right.
All right, first, what got you involved in bowling?
Well, I originally played basketball, but I thought it was time for a new change.
Mm-hmm.
So, my brother was in bowling, and so I thought I'd just follow in his footsteps.
Yeah.
So.
You pretty happy with your results so far?
Yes.
I mean, you look at the county tournament, and you roll a 576, good for 6th place in the county. You have to be pretty proud your first year out. That's super.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. And then you have such a great game, 224 single game against Mansfield Senior. Was that your high for the year?
No, actually my high for the year is 244.
244. Wow. Where did you, I mean, is it finesse or is it power? What's your game?
I just roll it down the lane and pray for the best.
Hey, at least you're honest. I appreciate that. You know, a lot of kids would say, no, I try to get up I try to finesse it. No, the heck with that. I just throw it and I'm praying. So you had a lot of good luck on your side. So as you head into the late part of the year and get ready for sectionals, I mean, you still have a lot of room for improvement?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of the times I can't pick up my spares because the 10 pin is just always bugging me.
You're trouble with the 10.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what when I've talked to different bowling teams, they always say, got to focus on the spares. And that's what Crestline, I remember, told me. He said, don't be so much worried about what you got to pick up those pins. They're so crucial.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like that's what coaches are telling you as well, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. Continued success. Enjoy the rest of the year.
Thank you.
You bet. Seth Price is up next. Seth is a freshman. How are you, Seth?
Pretty good.
How many years bowling for you total? I mean, I know it's your first in high school.
I've been bowling since I was 7 years old.
7 years old. Okay. What got you interested in the sport?
It seemed like it was fun.
Yeah. And,
No one in
and
my family's ever bowled.
nobody has? Really? And you just decided, what, you just go out to Suburban sometime and
Yeah, so
sit-
Saturday morning kids league
Yeah.
when I was 7 years old and joined
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And I've been bowling since.
good for you. And it's the reason I like discussing it. It's a life sport, right? We can take
Yes.
it. Any, I mean, I'm not any good at it, but people that are good at it, they can do it forever. You know, it's one of those things that they can do, and you know, what's that?
Like golf.
Like golf, yeah. And I'm poor at that too. How has your overall season gone? You were 24th place in the county with some really stiff competition. As a freshman, you got to be pretty excited about that.
County wasn't that great a day for me. I was struggling pretty bad mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing bad, and I just kept getting more and more inconsistent as my.
Yeah, I can understand, and you make up a really good point. How much of this game is mental compared to physical in your mind?
For me at least, it's probably 90% mental.
90% mental. Okay, you got the physical. You can roll it. Okay. All right, good. I'm glad you said that. And as a young person, you're learning about this competition. Talk about what you've gotten out of the most of it from just the camaraderie standpoint with your teammates and also the teams you play against. Because I understand in talking to other teams, there's a lot of cheering on the other team and camaraderie and talking and things like that. Is that true?
Yeah, we cheer on the other team sometimes more than we cheer on our own team.
Yeah, good. Do you enjoy that part of it?
Yeah, I like meeting the other teams, meeting new people.
Yeah, I'm sure you've met a whole bunch. Very good. Were you excited about the end of the year, getting maybe into the tournament a little deep?
I don't know. Don't want the season to end quite yet.
Yeah, well, just hope for the best, and like your buddy here, just pray. Roll the ball and pray. Maybe you take on that.
That's usually what I do.
There you go. Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Good luck to you. And finally, we have sophomore Rylee Powers on the girls program. Rylee, I appreciate you coming out tonight. Your game Coach said you're coming along really well. How many years total bowling for you?
This is my second in high school.
Second year, how much prior to that did you do?
I bowled a little bit when I was younger, but
Okay.
not very serious.
Okay.
Yeah, all three of these kids actually bowled in the kids league.
Good. And there's a strong program out at
Yes.
Suburban Lanes, and so we're very, very thankful for that. What is kind of your target of where you want to finish the season at with an average? What would you like to be at?
Anywhere better than where I am now, as long as I improve.
And where's your average at now?
I think it's 118.
118. All right. Well, that can come. What do you have to do to be able to do that, to get that average up?
Just believe that I can do better.
Yeah, like your buddy here says, it's mental, right? It's the mental side of it. What have you liked about just your Bucyrus girls team so much? What do you get out of it from an enjoyment standpoint?
They're really like a team. Like everyone is rooting for each other. They're not against each other. They want everyone to do the best. So when you're surrounded by people who are encouraging you, it really helps.
Yeah. Now, you were over at Lex Lanes last Tuesday, and when I've talked to different bowling teams, some say that's their favorite place to go because of synthetic lanes compared to the wood. Do you like the synthetic? Or
I really don't.
Why
For
don't
my
you?
style of bowling, it's not the best.
Oh, okay. Because if I understand, and I'm not an avid bowler, but synthetic, you get more of a spin, or is that what it is? Is that kind of the thing that you...
Sometimes it really depends. Most of the time my ball won't hook, so I'll have to use a plastic ball instead of normal.
Okay. So do you like Suburban pretty well? Is that your
Yeah.
favorite place to
Yeah.
bowl? Other than Suburban, what is your favorite place?
I don't know that I have a favorite.
That's it. All right. Well, props to Suburban Lanes, and they do a great job out there. Hey, continue to work on that average. Enjoy the rest of the season, and I appreciate you coming out for sure. You bet. Take one more break before we come back and talk to the coaches. Again, we're brought to you in part by Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion. Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center. Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing and Signs, Route 309 across from the Marion Depot. Coach Diane Kaple and Joe Powers here with me from the Bucyrus bowling team. And to have a boys and girls JV and varsity program, your numbers have to be pretty good. What are your total numbers in the whole program, you know?
We have 28.
28 total.
Yeah.
And that's pretty doggone good. And all three of these are sophomore or freshmen. How many total seniors that you'll lose at the end of the year, do you know?
We have 8.
8. Yeah, that's a tough loss.
We have 2 seniors this year that, 3. A girl and 2 boys that were their first year bowling. So, like I said, this is the largest group of seniors we've had. But we have a lot of depth, and this year was our first year we started a middle school club.
Oh, great.
So that's our first to help build that up, so we have that growth as we go.
Now, Joe, how has that been received at the middle school level? Are there a lot of kids that have gotten involved?
There's only like 8 to 10 kids, but they're all boys. So that's the unfortunate thing. There's no girls, so we got to get the girls to come out and join that league. So.
Have you found that bowling is a sport where girls come on a little later, maybe? Or not necessarily so?
I guess it just depends.
It is growing because
Yeah.
our first year we started with 4 girls. We had to find our 5th one. It just so happened it was Madison McDaniel, and we talked her into it. And we didn't have a girls JV. Last year was our first JV. This year we actually had an alternate so that we could go. We have 11 girls. So that part is so it is growing slowly. It is, but
Good.
I mean it's we're pleased with the numbers.
Well, weather permitting, you're going to be having Fostoria come to visit you on Wednesday.
Yep.
And I know we talked off camera about whether that's going to happen or not. And then next Monday, a week from tonight, you have Fremont Ross coming over here to Suburban. Do you enjoy, and do the kids enjoy these teams that are kind of out far away that maybe they don't know them, and like the county teams that they're used to?
Yeah, I think so. I think we try to, and each year we come up with some different teams. We've played Fremont Ross in the past. This is our first year with Fostoria. So, Fostoria is where sectionals is where we're traveling for sectionals.
Okay.
And we traveled there to see them at the beginning of the season. And
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and so now they're coming to our place, and Fremont is our last match.
Yes.
It's the last match of the season.
True regular season match.
Yep, and then it's ready, and then it's getting ready for sectionals.
Sectional and hopefully district, which my records are correct, February 21st at Cooper's Bowl. Is that correct? Down in Marion? Is that correct or not?
Oh, Monday that's
That week, sometime that week? Does that sound
That's
about-
the 21st. Is that Monday? That's that tournament.
3 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, that's a tournament.
Oh, okay.
That's the they had to cancel.
Oh, that's the Ridgedale.
That's the Ridgedale Bakers tournament. They had to cancel it. It was on Martin Luther King Day,
Gotcha.
and it was canceled. And so I forgot about
Okay,
that
so that's something.
So that'll be the last. That's a makeup tournament. Yes.
Gotcha, okay. And then if you could get some kids to state March 4th and 5th down
Yep.
in
That would be
Columbus,
great.
that
Yep.
would be a wonderful thing.
Districts will be the 24th and 25th, I think, and then
Okay.
the following week is state.
And all the kids on varsity, boys and girls, have the potential to make it to state. So.
Good.
They do, yeah.
Good. One other thing I was going to ask you, when you play in these larger schools, do you see much of a disparity in talent level, or is it fairly evened out?
I think it's fairly evened out.
Yeah, because we play District 1 teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
we don't just keep it within our district. We do division. We do Division 1 teams
Good.
against. So.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. Well, I'm pleased to hear, A, great participation, B, that just based on your experience, you've done it for so long, and so kids are familiar, and that the kids are having a good time, and they're really performing well, and there's some youth coming up. I think that's really bright for Bucyrus bowling for sure.
I
for
think
the
so.
sport in general.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you're right, because I've talked to Gallion, I've talked to Crestline.
It's a growing sport.
Winford, it is. There's so many kids getting involved with that, and it's a great alternative for the traditional winter sports, so it's really, really great to see.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. Congratulations to all of you. Best of luck the rest of the year, and continued success for
Thank
you
you.
this year and the program moving forward.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You bet. We'll take a break here. It'll be back with Winford basketball right after this timeout.